Hello there, grace and peace to you. This is Soteria Prophetic Ministries, and I am your host, Delisa Fields. I want to thank you for tuning in for yet another day to hear what thus said the Lord to his body. Before I get started, I want to just give a shout out to some of our devoted listeners. Those of you in Georgia, North Carolina, California, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Indiana, Iowa. To those of you in New York, God bless you. Thank you for listening. Let's see who else we have representing. Ohio is in the house. We thank God for those of you listening from Ohio. Idaho is in the house, and several other states that were represented. Those of you in the UK, those of you in Namibia, thank you for tuning in. Those of you in Guyana, God bless you, Guyana. My spiritual father and my mentor apostle has done some, they have done some ministry work in Guyana. So we bless God for you. Thank you for tuning in. Let's see who else we have. South Carolina is in the house. We thank God for you. Kentucky, Texas is in the house. God bless you. Alabama is in the house. So I just wanted to acknowledge those of you who are listening in from your respective places, and I thank God for you. Thank you for those of you who have been giving some comments. Thank you for those of you who have been sharing, and the feedback has just been very encouraging about what God is doing. Many of you have, sometimes I would get text messages within the day about how God has spoken expressly and specifically to some of the matters that some of you have been dealing with. So I bless God for that. To be a courier in the kingdom, to be a messenger, a herald, it's truly an honor. So I bless God for that. Today, I have a topic for you. And I admit I'm kind of struggling with the name of the topic. I guess by the time that I'm done, I would probably better know what to title it. But we're talking about, and just kind of bear with me for a minute because it's so fresh in my spirit. This was birthed out of a dream that I had last night, and I'm going to share it with you in just a little bit. But I'm coming out of Judges chapter 7, and I'm dealing with, I think what I want to say is, when God takes you into the enemy's camp, when God takes you into the enemy's camp, and I'm going to adjust that and tweak it by the time that we're done. So if you're listening and see that the title is different from what the topic I'm giving you, is okay. Still, like I said, it's very fresh in my spirit, and I wanted to just roll this off of my tongue before my day gets gone from me. So let me just preempt the message by sharing this dream that I had. This was last night, or actually early this morning. In this dream, actually I had a series of dreams, but this one dream in particular, where this message is coming from, was someone very close to me. And I sent them on an errand. There was, something I needed done. I didn't have the time to get it done. So I said, hey, can you take this to so-and-so's house? And they did. They willingly, took on that for me. And so when they got to this individual's house, the individual proceeded to have a conversation with them about me. And, for whatever reason, the person felt comfortable talking to this person about me, even though this person is very close to me. And I'm not petty by no means. There's a message, believe me, there's a message behind this. Because listen, people talk about you, right? That's just a fact of life. But anyway, so when a person, I'm kind of waiting for the individual to get back to me, to, let me know that they've taken care of, the business for me, and, because I had other things planned that required that person to be present. So I'm sort of waiting around for the individual to get back. So finally, after a delayed moment in time, they returned, and I discerned that their countenance was off. And so I said, what's wrong? And so, at first the individual was like, nothing's wrong, everything's okay. And I just felt in my spirit, I said, no, I said, something is wrong. I said, what happened? And so as I'm talking to this person, I noticed that they went into my closet. Now I love clothes, I've got several closets, but they went into one of my closets, and they put on one of my dresses. And so, I'm just watching, okay? So then I noticed they put on one dress, they pulled out another dress out of the closet, sort of draped it over their shoulder, and then they went into another closet, which is like formal wear, things that I don't wear on a ordinary basis. So they went into that closet and took off the first dress they had on and put on my wedding gown. And, the person now didn't have any, they didn't realize what they were doing. But I'm watching all of this in the spirit. So I'm watching their countenance, and I'm watching their actions, and I'm watching them go from, from one of my closets to another. So when the person put on my wedding dress, I said, what did that person say to you? Because what I was picking up at that point was, this person had things they wanted to say to me. There were things this person wanted to say to me. And for whatever reason, they didn't say it. They used that person as a scapegoat. In other words, they took the opportunity to get to this person and say it to the person what they really wanted to say to me. And so that's why I feel that the Lord was showing me that the person was putting on my clothes. It wasn't them, but it was me the person was trying to get to, but they couldn't get to me. So, and then let me just do some dissecting here, because remember, this is fresh, so I'm actually interpreting as I'm going along. But I have several closets. I've got a closet where I have my work clothes. I have a closet where I have my semi-formal church stuff. I have one where I have just casual things, and then of course I have my my formal wear, what have you. So I know I need deliverance. I'm working on it. So. But I noticed that the person didn't go to my casual closet or to my work closet. Now, this is going to help some of you in terms of how to sort of detect some things in your dreams. The person went to my church closet, which represents my ministry, and the person went to my formal closet and put on my wedding dress that represents my marriage. Okay? So this person, not the one who ran the errands for me, that person was a victim of circumstance, because the individual really wanted to get to me. The person really wanted to get to my ministry and get into my marriage and get into my ministry, but they couldn't. You understand what I'm saying? And so they went to that person. They went to a weaker vessel, and this is why you guys got to be careful, okay? Let me just say this. I hear the Holy Spirit, and y'all know how I roll, right? We just go with God. You got to be careful about weak people. Now, hear my heart. The Bible said, let the strong bear the infirmity of the weak. And what that means is, even we talked about in marriage, about the woman being the weaker vessel, what that means is nothing against them. That's just the way they're built. Or maybe they haven't processed or progressed to the point where they're operating in their full strength yet. And it's okay. We've all been there, okay? But when you send people to represent you who don't carry your strength, who are not strong enough to defend you, they can feel the heat. They can be a recipient of backlash. And that's what happened with this person. I sent that person to represent me on an errand. And when the person walked into this attack against me, they were unable to defend me. And so it was my position in my heart. I didn't knock the person who ran the errand. But I learned from that. There was something God was showing me in that. I'm still talking about Judges chapter 7, okay? And so what I did, I discerned the person. I saw what they were doing. And I addressed the person. I said, listen. I said, this was not about you. This was about me. I said, that person used you to get to me, to say things to me that they couldn't ordinarily say. And so when I did that, I freed that person because they had felt condemnation. And sometimes people will do that when they can't really defend you or can't really support you in the way that they really want to. Now, I'm not talking about folks just, those kinds of people, messy folks, and just carry stuff back and forth. Because this person, because of what was said, and because of the relationship this person has with me, they didn't want to come back and tell me X, Y, Z. But I picked it up in the spirit that the person's countenance was off. And I noticed that their actions were off. Okay? See how God shows you that? So we have to be very wise and very watchful and very vigilant. And not just take things, oh, you're back, come on, let's go. And just, be, oblivious to what's happening. The Bible says be sober, be vigilant. So we have to be vigilant and really pay attention to people's countenances and to people's reactions. I'm not saying, monitor them and sort of put them under surveillance, but in certain things, your spirit really should be acclimated to being have a watchful spirit. Anyway, let me finish this up. So, the person, I noticed them putting on the dresses, whatever, and I said, what happened? And so the person said, I did what you asked me to do, and the individual said XYZ, XYZ. So, yeah, I feel some heat. I was upset, yes, because I'm human. I didn't like the fact that the person was taken advantage of. I didn't like the fact that this person that I was helping, okay, because I actually was delivering something to them for them, and instead they attacked me. So yeah, my humanity, even though I'm spiritual, my humanity began to react, and I felt heated. I mean, in my dream, I could literally feel the heat. You know how you feel? Great hot displeasure. Well, yeah, I felt it. I was very upset, but I immediately adjusted that switch, because I recognized this battle is not a flesh and blood battle. This is something that I need to battle in the spirit. So I tuned that volume down, and I said to the person who ran the errand for me, I said, listen, I said, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. It's okay. You didn't do anything wrong. They were wrong for what they said. They were wrong for putting you in that situation. I said, go change your clothes so we can go. And that's how I was able to break that off of that person. I said, take those clothes off. In other words, take off the guilt, take off the backlash, take off all of that you're wearing at my expense. Take that off. So when the person went off to change, I sat there. It was like I was sitting behind a desk, and I began to pray. In the dream, I began to pray, and I said, Lord, I have to respond. I said, how would you have me to respond? And the Lord said, call them and record what you have to say. He didn't tell me to record what they said. He said, record what you have to say, because this person operates in deception, and they'll twist your words. And that's what I did. I called the individual, and I said, hey, how you doing? This is so-and-so. I said, I just want to get clarity, on something, that had happened. And I addressed the matter, and I spoke, even though, listen to me carefully, in my moments prior to that, I had my human reaction, angry. And I could have very well called and just went off. I mean, could have blinked, because we still got blank in us, you know what I'm saying? It's just we thank God for Jesus. But we can go there. So, I thank God that I had got past that. So by the time I spoke with the individual, I just dealt with the issue, not my emotion. I dealt with the issue. And I said, I was, told what happened. And I said, let me share something with you. And I don't know, I'm not going to go into details, but I didn't have an attitude with it. I wasn't nasty. I just stated the facts. I said, this is what I'm sent to do. This is what I'm called to do. I said, I've been through this before. And again, I'm not going to go into all that, but I addressed it. And, and I said, from this time forward, I said, I know where you stand. I said, now you know where I stand. I said, but I'm still going to get my work done. And I left it like that. And again, I recorded, the Holy Spirit told me to record what I said to defend me, not to play what somebody else said and be messy, but to cover my track. And that's what I did. And I had several other dreams, but that was the one when I got up this morning, I began to write it down. I said, because wow, God, you're showing me, you're giving me insight into the enemy's camp. And so this is where, of course, listen, anytime God is doing something spiritually, it's going to be validated in Scripture. So this is what took me to Judges chapter 7. And this is talking about Gideon. And let me give you some context, because time won't permit me to expound upon the whole thing. Excuse me. But let me give you some context. Gideon operated in a spirit of fear, a stronghold of fear. But God saw beyond that. And there was a work that God, excuse me, I had a cup of coffee before I got on the line. God had, he saw Gideon's fear, but he looked beyond that. Thank God he does that with us too, because he still had a work that he destined for Gideon to do. And so God, he trained and developed Gideon through the fear. Because some of you say, well, I can't do this because I'm dealing with this. Let me tell you something. If you're willing, God will develop you through the process. I have many sons and daughters, and those I mentor, and many of them battle with spirits of low confidence. Excuse me, low confidence, low self-esteem. As a matter of fact, I had just facilitated a therapeutic workshop to that effect, just trying to build up people's esteem. It's okay if you feel inadequate. It's okay even if other people say that about you, but at the end of the day, you got to know what God has put inside of you. You got to fall in love with the good, you got to fall in love with yourself. So despite Gideon's fear, despite Gideon's stronghold of fear, God still worked with him because he was willing. So it came to the point to where Gideon had to battle against the Midianites. And he even though God had showed him sign after sign, this is for somebody, this is for you. Even though God showed him sign after sign that I'm with you, I'm giving you the victory, I've handpicked your army. Okay, it doesn't get any better than that. Sometimes you wonder why certain people fall out of your life in certain seasons. I know I used to. I'm like, this is the time that I need this individual or those individuals, and here I am in the heat of my trial, and they backing up and dropping off like dead flies in a cup of vinegar, And the Lord said, daughter, I've handpicked your army. Now either you can roll with the crowd and have confidence in numbers, or you can roll with 2 and 3 and know that they got your back. These understand guerrilla warfare. Come on, they understand tactical maneuvers. These are your Navy SEALs. The Navy SEALs is a totally different branch of military. These folks go, they jump out of planes and you know what I'm saying, go undercover. They operate in all types of different under different identities and things. So they're different. And so this is what God was trying to, and this is for somebody. This is what God was trying to get across to Gideon. How can you not know that I'm with you? I've shown you sign after sign. I've handpicked your army. I've strengthened you. I'm dealing with you despite your inadequacies, and you're still at the point of fear, and it's the night of the battle. God, who's at the night of your battle? The midnight of your battle. So here we go in Judges 7 verse 9. Excuse me. Yeah, Judges 7 verse 9. A lot of J's here. Judges 7 verse 9. And it came to pass the same night that the Lord said to him, talking about Gideon, arise, get thee down unto the host, for I have delivered it into thine hand. Verse 10, but if thou fear to go down, because you look at God, you know God knows you. You know he knows you. God said, listen, I want you to go down into the enemy's camp. And because I'm going to show you that I've delivered it to your hand, because Gideon was at the night of battle and he was afraid. So God said, get up, let me go down and let me show you. Let me walk you through this and show you what I'm doing. And then he says in verse 10, but if you're still afraid, take Phurah, your servant, down with you. Verse 11, and you shall hear what they say, and afterward shall your hands be strengthened to go down into the host. Then he went down with Phurah his servant unto the outside of the armed men that were in the host. Verse 12, and the Midianites and the Amalekites and all the children of the east lay along in the valley like grasshoppers for multitudes. So these were so many people. All right, and their camels were without number, as the sand by the seaside for multitude. Now, the Bible is just so, it's so replete with imagery and details and things like that. Verse 13, and when Gideon was come, behold, there was a man that told a dream unto his fellow. And he said, behold, I dreamed a dream. And lo, a cake of barley bread tumbled into the host of Midian, and came unto a tent, and smote it that it fell, and overturned it, that the tent lay along. And his fellows answered and said, verse 14, this is nothing else except the sword of Gideon, the son of Joash, a man from Israel. For into his hand God has delivered Midian and all the host. Verse 15, and it was so, when Gideon heard the telling of the dream and the interpretation thereof, that he worshipped and returned into the host of Israel, and said, arise, for the Lord hath delivered into your hand the host of Midian. Listen, if I was in church, I would say, can we just give God a hand praise? Matter of fact, hang on, we're going to give God a hand praise. Hold on. He's with you. He has a way to let you know he is with you, despite your inadequacies, despite your fears, despite your apprehensions, despite your reluctance. God has a way to let you know, I'm with you. I'm with you. That's what the Holy Spirit is saying to you. I'm with you. That's what God told me in that dream. Daughter, I'm with you. Because when I woke up this morning, I said, God, let me talk about humanity, right? Because I don't care how anointed you are. You're still human. And when God reveals something to you, you can still have an emotional reaction. And if anybody knows me, I'm always talking about guarding your emotions, and, acknowledging your emotions. I'm a student, a therapy student, and, because I really, I've always loved psychology, but I just really have this drive in me to help people understand the process of their thoughts. And yeah, I do deliverance, I do all of that stuff, but, in this season of my life, and that's why God required me to go back to school, because, there are platforms I need to stand on, and it takes paper to get there. Okay, not your anointing, not your role, but there are certain platforms that God will call you to, and you're going to have some skills, some accreditations to get you there. That's not for everybody, but it's for somebody. Okay, and so there's certain platforms that we need to get to. Listen, there's certain boardrooms, because we all want to run to the pulpit and be great in front of church folk. But what about outside Jesus? Say, go ye into all the world, and preach the gospel. I want to go into boardrooms and hold, self-esteem workshops or processing through workplace conflict. That's kind of, what as an apostle, I'm not limited to, Sunday morning. I shortchange the grace. I can be, and I told God, I said, God, you put so much in me. Listen, my children tell me I ministered a word last Sunday. I ministered, what did I minister on? I think I was talking about the accuser of the brethren. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And my children, they were like, Mom, you got so much word in you. You don't, and I barely ever preach off notes, guys. God will give me a topic and I write down the scripture, but in my church can tell you, I just go straight. I go with God. And they were like, Mom, you don't look at your notes. The word just comes out of you. And one of my middle son, he was like, I just admire that you got some. And I give God glory. Because your children will tell you the truth about yourself. They will tell you the truth. But I give God glory for that, because, you want to appeal to different types of audiences, not just the mid-lifers, not just the seniors, not just those who can line, the offering pans, but you want to appeal to all walks of life. And so it takes a grace, it takes a wisdom to pull the 50-year-olds, the 30s, and the teens. It takes a grace to do that. So anyway, there's certain, credentials you need to access certain platforms, and you don't want to just be limited to what you can do in the church. Now, there's some people, that's their lane, and that's what God's called it to, and God bless you. But there's also some who God said, hey, I've opened some greater doors for you. Opened some bigger doors for you. So praise God. But, when you, like in my trip, when you're presented with something like that, you have a choice. And you can respond in your humanity. And who do you think you are? I'm helping you. I don't have to do this. I don't have to put up with this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting paid to do this. I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart. I'm using my time and hours and seconds that I will never get back. You know what I'm saying? Listen, now, because like I told you, we all can blink. We got blink in us. We can go there. How dare you? Who do you think you are? But you know what? Why bother? Why bother? Because you're not gonna gain any ground with that, and you're just gonna end up in a meaningless, a challenge of words back and forth, and it's just a waste of time. Matter of fact, the Bible said a man of God should not strive. We don't fight. We don't do that. Okay, now unless we do war, spiritual warfare, that's totally different. I'm always down for that. But we don't fight one another. Okay, those are not fruits of God's Holy Spirit. So operating in temperance, because I'm upset and I don't like what you did, but I'm not going to come off, on you like that in my emotions. Let me get a minute to get myself together, so that when I address you, I'm addressing you out of the issue, not out of my feelings. And that's what I did. And God graced me to get through it. And at the end of the conversation, I said, so here's what's getting ready to happen. I know where you stand. Now you know where I stand. Guess what? I'm still going to do what God told me to do. I'm just doing it now with some insight into the enemy's camp. I've got some insight. God let me see how you really feel. And it's okay. You've got to be grown enough. I need to say this again, because I just can't deal with it. I'm quitting. I'm leaving. And that's your prerogative. You can do what you want to do. But when you grow and mature in your emotions, you will be able to stand even in the midst of people who can't stand you. You will be able to still perform and execute and carry out your functions and your duties despite folks' amen and despite their applause. Man, you will understand that man don't validate who you are. And that's the point you got to get to. Man does not validate, or let me say this, don't get to, the Bible says the fear of a man brings a snare. You will always find yourself trapped in a stronghold, bound, when you're seeking other people's approval and their validation and affirmation and confirmation and applause. If that's where you are, I pray your strength in the Lord. Because if that's excuse me, if that's the case, man and non-gender will always determine how far you go and where you go and what you do when you get there. If you're bound by what they say, if you're bound by what they have prescribed for you to do. Now, I'm not saying it to be cocky and arrogant, but I'm telling you that there is a confidence that you have to have that, listen, despite how you feel about me, I can deal with that. You know what I'm saying? I can deal with that. Despite how you feel about me, I'm still going to stay here and get the work done. You know what I'm saying? Your feelings won't dictate my performance. Oh, that's so good right there. Come on, somebody. You can quote me on that one. Your feelings don't dictate my performance. Think about Jesus. How many times did the religious rulers of his day follow him and accuse him and taunt him? Everything he did, they watched him and they had something to say. They tried to ask questions to trip him up. And every time Jesus would he would just stupefy them. Because their works, it didn't work. Their little tricks, it didn't work. There are people who are performing tricks. You got some tricksters among you, and they're saying things and they're doing things to try to move you out of your position, try to move you out of your place. And check this out, my friends, trying to move you out of your destiny. Trying to move you out of your destiny. So they say things to you, or they say things behind your back, or they do little things, just little childish little. That's why I say you got to grow up. You have to mature and get past how people feel about you. And listen, I said this one time to somebody, and I said, you are entitled to your feelings, and I am entitled to acknowledge them. And that's that. I don't have to make sense out of it. I don't have to agree with it. I don't have to factor that in. You're entitled to your feelings, and I acknowledge that. And that is all. Again, it comes to a place of confidence, people of God, where you can acknowledge how folk feel about you. I'm about to get back to getting in just a minute. But where you can acknowledge how folk feel about you, and it may be a negative emotion, it may be a positive emotion, but either way, it's not a factor. It should not be a factor in how you govern your life. Well, I can't do that because so-and-so is going to get mad. Well, guess what? So-and-so is going to have to get mad. Today is going to be the day that so-and-so gets mad. Because I have to do what the Father requires me to do. Even Jesus, listen, at the expense of his mother becoming upset with him. At the wedding at Cana, first miracle. Jesus, I need you to I need you to get some wine. Woman, what have I to do with you? It's not my time. I ministered that a while back, I think in my church or somewhere. And he didn't hold that back. Now, of course, he went on and did the work, and we thank God for that. But he let her know, this is what you want, but here's where I'm coming from. Do you understand what I'm saying? A healthy dialogue. We don't have to end out kicking and fussing and cussing, but it's a healthy dialogue. That's how you feel, and this is my acknowledgement of your feelings. And we're gonna move forward. We're gonna move past that. And can I tell you something? If you're married, that will help you. It's gonna help you because you're gonna have nothing but feelings and emotions in your marriage. We're dirt bodies, Miles Monroe said, and we're gonna do some stuff. So you're gonna have to acknowledge it. You're gonna have to acknowledge it, and then come to a resolution about it. What we're gonna do? Stay mad forever, or you know what? I don't like what you did. It really made me feel some kind of way. Just don't do it again, and move on. I'm saying, why keep kicking around the mountain for 10 years, because somebody didn't take the trash out? Take the trash out, get it over with, you know? So, praise God. So, it comes to a point, let me finish my point and move on, where you will have seasons of your life where you're going to be in the company of people who don't necessarily want you to be there, or who don't necessarily feel positively about you. And you have a choice, because they've already made their choice to feel that kind of way. So now you have a choice, whether God reveals it to you in the Spirit, or whether somebody tells you something, or whether you see something. You have a choice. With the information that was just fed to you, you have a choice to decide how you're going to respond. You can get an attitude. You can go off. You can curse everybody out, slam the door, and throw the phone down, and have a temper tantrum. You can certainly do that. You're within your rights to do that. You can pack up your bags and go and start over and go through the same season all over again, because that place was where you needed to learn how to overcome that skill. So you can pack up and go, and then just set yourself up to repeat that grade. You're within your rights to do that too. I'm just making it plain. I don't know how else to say it. You're within your rights. God has given you the freedom to choose. Choose you this day. You got the freedom to choose. So you can go off. You can curse everybody out, throw stuff down, have a temper tantrum. You can stop, resign, quit, move, relocate, whatever. You can do that. Or you can stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Okay? That's your choice. So I decided, which God showed me in the dream, this is how they feel, and listen, and this is how you are to respond. Because once I acknowledged the heat of my emotions, I sat down at my desk and I prayed. And a desk represents a place of study. In other words, because I have already built my spiritual library with enough tools to govern my emotions when they want to act crazy, I submitted myself to the studies of the Word. And I prayed. And then God responded. I want you to look at that process that I did in that dream. And I thank God, because God will show you even where you are in the dream. I could have called the individual and went slap off, hung the phone up, and you know what I'm saying? And let that be that. But even in your dreams, God will show you your own spirit. God will show you areas where you're mature in, and God will show you areas that you still need growth. So pay attention to your dreams. And I'd love to help you if you have dreams. And some of you have been sharing dreams. Some of my Facebook friends, which I'm not active on Facebook, but I've given my information because it's a service I provide to the body. I don't know everything, and I'll tell you, hey, pray about it, or I don't know, the woman of God, man of God, God is not telling me nothing, or I feel like this is a flesh dream, has no meaning whatsoever. You ate too late before you went to bed. I would love to help if that's where you are. If not, God bless you. And I pray God even gives you the ability to interpret your own dreams, so you don't have to wait for somebody else to do that for you, because you can't trust everybody's spirit. What was that? Holy Spirit. So the process was that the situation was presented to me. I first dealt with the person, and then I submitted myself to the Word, to the studies of the Word. Then I acknowledged the Lord in prayer, and then I proceeded to make a phone call. And that's how I was able to have the conversation without my emotions being all over the world. And I resolved at the end of the conversation, I know how you feel, you know where I'm coming from, but this is what I'm going to do. And that's that. Talk to you later. So there's a way when God takes you into the enemy's camp, He's showing you areas that they're weak. He's showing you areas that they're vulnerable in. He's showing you even their thought processes. God has taken me. I've heard so many conversations. It will blow your mind. And and some of them, God will say, don't say nothing. In Gideon's case, Gideon could say, hey, I heard you. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the time, the occasion didn't call to confront. Do you see what I'm saying? In Gideon's case, God said, I'm going to show you what they're saying about you. I'm going to show you their strengths. And God showed them all the men. I mean, the Midianites partnered with the Amalekites. Come on, somebody. You got groups of people against you. But it's okay. Because greater is me than he that is in me than he that is in the world. So God said, let me take you down to the enemy's camp and show you how I'm going to deliver you. So he took Gideon down to the enemy's camp. Gideon saw the Midianites. Then he saw the Amalekites. Because come on, God will show you enemies that are hidden. my God. You thought you were fighting against the Mennonites, but the Mennonites have contacted the Amalekites. So God said, I'm going to show you all of it. You want to know what's coming against you? You want to know, because I listen, in ministry and senior leadership, I have to. I don't know about you, but I always ask the Father, show me where the people's hearts are. I need to know that. The Bible talks about know them which labor among you. You need to know who's laboring now. And it's not to mistreat people, because let me tell you, sometimes God will show you some stuff and you're like, okay, even then, you got to be grown enough to still love. I ministered a while back about the way Jesus treated Judas. Even though he knew, he said, I picked 12 of you and I know one of you is the devil. He never mistreated Judas. Somebody needed to hear that. Even though God is revealing to you people that don't necessarily have your heart, they're there for the fishes and loaves. They're there to see. They're there to spy or whatever. Remember what I said earlier. You don't let their actions dictate your performance. You still do. Jesus didn't say, well, man, I don't know if I can do this because I got somebody in my camp who's talking. This man is taking my money. This man is telling secrets. He's telling people where I pray. I mean, come on now. Some of y'all got some whispers in your camps. What are you going to do about it? You preach a message on them? Shut the church down. What you going to do? Are you going to respond because of what they are or who they are? You going to respond to that? Or are you going to use it as intel as you continue to move forward in the things of God? I'll share this briefly. Just last night, before I had that dream, I had another dream, and in this dream I saw one of my spiritual daughters, which I'm going to reach out to her a little bit later on. And in this dream, God showed me her heart. And God showed me her heart. And the Lord told me, He showed it to me. I wrote it down. And He showed me that this woman of God, as I was talking to her, and you got to love this as a seer, you get to see so many, man, God is awesome, y'all. I'm telling you. He's just awesome. As a seer, I was talking to her. And as I'm talking to her, the Lord had me to study her reactions, right? And when I got up this morning, I said, Lord, why you show me that about? I didn't ask you. I mean, which that prayer is an ongoing prayer. Yeah, I'm always want to know, okay, what's going on with my people, where they have what's. So I'll know, right? I got to know how to entreat, when to back off of this, when to let them go through some things, when to embrace, when to refrain from embracing. You have to know that. Because you can reach out to someone at the wrong season of their life, and it can cause some problems. So you got to know, you got to have wisdom. So I'm planning some things, right? I'm moving into some things in ministry right now, and so I need to know where certain people are, because it's going to require some of them to step up and take on some additional responsibilities. So I needed to know that. And so in this dream, and like I said, I didn't even ask God. It was kind of ongoing prayer. But as I'm talking to her, I'm studying her spirit just to see whatever. And as I'm talking to her, y'all, I'm telling you, a yardstick, because I wrote ruler, and the Lord said, no, it was a yardstick. So, I mean, it's correct. It was a yardstick protruded from the side of her neck. It kind of laid on her shoulder, and it went all the way down to her feet. Now, isn't that awesome? Only God can show you stuff like that. I couldn't imagine nothing like that in my wildest dreams. But as I'm talking to her, this yardstick protruded from her neck, sort of leaned up against her shoulder, and it reached all the way to her feet. And so I'm watching that, and I'm still talking to her, and then I started talking to her about sharing with her some instructions. So first it was conversation, then it turned to instruction. And when I changed the conversation and started giving her instructions, something very prolific occurred. Excuse me. She walked a distance away from me, and she knelt down. It was like an ottoman or some kind of little low stool. I'll say a stool. She knelt down at the stool on her knees and facing me, and just kind of fold, you fold your arms and like kind of rest your head on your folded arms, if that makes sense to anybody. And this woman of God, one of my daughters, paid attention to every word that came out of my mouth. Every word. So first it was a conversation. And now you might say, well, I thought we were talking about insight to the enemy's camp. This is. Because even in that, God will show you insight to the enemy's camp, but he will also give you insight into your own camp and show you, like God showed Gideon, let me show you what's going on. Let me show you the conversations. Let me show you what they're doing. The Bible said the Midianites, the Amalekites, and their camels, and they were like grasshoppers, right? Then you're hearing conversations. You're hearing people's dreams inside your own dream. Only God can do that. So, it's good to have insight to the enemy's camp. But listen, don't focus so much on looking over there that you forget to look in your own backyard. And so it's so funny. First, God showed me what was happening in my camp. Then God showed me what was going on in the enemy's camp. What an awesome God, right? So, but yeah, so the interpretation that God gave me for that was, and again, this is all fresh, so I haven't had a lot of time to work this out. So by the time I'm done, later on in the day, God may add to it, even the more. So this is kind of limited revelation on it. But what he was showing me was that the neck represents the government. The neck and shoulders represent government. The neck represents strength. In Proverbs, it's also a tower of grace. So the ruler, the yardstick, pardon me, Holy Ghost, the yardstick represents a measurement. So you got the neck, which is the tower of strength and grace. You got the shoulder, which represents government. It represents government because your head sits on the shoulders, and it's what carries the head. Okay, and it's also the balance for the rest of your body. So the Lord was showing me that this ruler, her life is governed by the word of God, and she's under authority. She's under, from her neck down, from her where she's graced. God has graced her in that area. She's strong enough to. Okay, she's strong enough to bear it. Okay, she's strong enough to bear it. She's definitely graced for the word. But then the shoulder, she's submitted to the government. And it extends, because some people, listen, when you measure some things, you get 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inches, right? I do screen printing, so you should see my little sheet shack. I've got rulers everywhere. I got rulers everywhere because you have to have precise measurements. And so a measurement can tell you how far you can go with a thing. It tells you how much space, how much room you're working with. It tells you how much material you need or what you don't. Measurements tell you a whole lot. But she had a yardstick from her shoulder down, shoulder all the way down to her feet. She's completely submitted. And so what God was showing me, that one, you don't have to worry. Thank you, Holy Ghost, my God, I feel the presence of God. That one, you don't have to worry about. You know what I'm saying? And then as I'm talking to her, the conversation changed. And when I gave her instruction, the Lord showed me from the Bible. The Lord showed me she submitted. She knelt down as if to give obeisance. Listen, I'm not Jesus, but what I'm talking about, the Lord showed me she understands authority. And she knew the difference when the shift came from me just talking to you versus, me giving you instructions. She understood. When I didn't have to say, hey, I'm getting ready to give it. I didn't have to announce me changing the channel. She knew it because she knows my spirit. And she got down on her knees and propped her head up on her folded arms and paid attention to every word that came out of my mouth. So God is an awesome God. He will show you those who are with you, and he will show you those who are not. And in that with her, I know that when I'm ready to, take ministry to another level, she can handle it. Now, are there going to be days that maybe we may not see eye to eye, or days that she may go through things I may go through? Yeah, of course, because we're having a human experience. But in the realm of the spirit, God is telling me you can trust that one. I had no question in my mind. And so in the realm of the spirit, God showed Gideon, this is what's happening. You're feeling afraid. You're feeling intimidated. You're feeling, fearful and reluctant and hesitant to go into this battle. Even though I told you had the victory, you're still feeling reluctant about it. But here's what you need. Let me show you, right? Because a picture is worth 1,000 words. Don't take my word for it. Let me show you with your own eyes. Because listen, you may question what you hear, but you can't question what you see. And so he takes Gideon down, and he allows Gideon to survey the entire camp. and he sees the Amalekites. Now listen, I didn't know the Amalekites was a part of this. God will show you folk that you didn't listen, you didn't even figure on was a part of the controversy. And here you got to show you their face. I threw their name out, and you're like, okay, I didn't know. So you too, huh? You too, right? He'll show you that, and then he will console you and comfort you, and let you know, daughter, son, I know it seems like a host is against you. They're sitting down, chilling. You all nervous and uptight and upset and anxious, and you can't sleep, you can't eat, and they're down in the camp chilling. The Bible said it was spread out all along the valley, just resting, because they just knew the battle was there. There are some people, can I say this prophetically? There are some people they're so laid back and relaxed and confident that what they've done is going to offset your life, and it's going to tear you down and reduce you to the lowest denominator. Amen. But let me tell you, God's got news for them and news for you. Don't be moved by what you see. Don't be moved by their numbers. Don't be moved by how many people are linked up against you, or the agencies that come against you, or the organization. Don't be moved by it. Let me tell you something. I don't care how many people signed the letter against you. All you need is your name and God. Listen, and your plus one. You and God are the majority. So I want to leave you with that thought, my friends, that God will give you insight into the enemy's camp. And you've got to be mature enough to handle what he shows you. Like I said, Gideon didn't say, hey, wait a minute now. Oh, I know I got this. I know victors. He didn't run back to his camp and say, hey, let's go now. No. The Bible says in verse 16, and go back and read Judges 7. Read the whole thing. Read the whole thing. Put it in your spirit. Put it in your inner man. Put it in your spiritual library. Put it on your shelf. The Bible said when he went back, he divided 300 men into 3 companies, put a trumpet in every man's hand with empty pitchers and lamps of pitchers. By him seeing where the enemy's seat was, he developed strategy to defeat. You know what I'm saying? To win the war, which it was already pronounced. But you got to have the strategy. I don't care how God, God said you won the war, but you still need a strategy. How you going to win it? You still have to map out your strategy. How am I going to do this? Shall I pursue? Shall I overtake? Shall I recover all? Those say yes. You will pursue. You will overtake. You will recover all. Then you put your battle plan in place. You don't figure it out when you get there. Okay. Praise God. So, I pray this word has enlightened you and encouraged you and strengthened you in your spirit. I pray that those of you that have, have people, which we all do. I mean, come on, y'all. You in this life, you're going to have people in your circle that may not necessarily have your best interest, and it's okay. They're going to serve a purpose, so they don't need you to, go making no Facebook announcement. I just want to say to all my haters that God showed me who you are, and just watch out. Please don't do that. That's not why God showed you that. That was for your eyes only. That's so that you will know. The Bible says how to walk in wisdom toward those who are without. That's for God to give you the upper hand. God to give you the insight so you know where the enemy's seat is. But don't go telling everything you know. One of the TV shows I'm kind of binge watching is 24 with Kiefer Sutherland. And, CTU, if those of you that are familiar with it. And I love the fact that, you got to have clearance for access of certain types of information. You got to have clearance. There's level 1, level 2, level 3. I don't know if it goes higher than that. But you got to swipe a card. In other words, the agency has to grant you a card, and that card is going to signify which level of access you have. So don't give enemy access to the stuff you know. Have some intel, have some things that are classified. There's some things God is revealing to you that's classified. So quit telling folks everything. It's not for them to know. It's for you. Okay? So God bless you. Thank you for sharing this few moments with me, and certainly my prayer that the Holy Spirit has spoken to you in a word of prophecy throughout the entire message has comforted you and has encouraged you and has exhorted you. I pray that the spirit of wisdom has equipped you, and that that everything is going to be okay. Keep your hands in Jesus' hands. I know it's a cliche, but it's true. Walk with the Lord, amen, and don't deviate from the path He's called you to. Don't jump ship in seasons of hardship. Yeah, I said it like I meant it. And Learn how to endure some things. Go through some things so God can grow you and mature you and trust you, with some more, whatever He wants for you to have. But go through and grow through. Okay, quit stopping every time you hit a rough patch, and every time you find out things, and every time somebody tells you things. Quit stopping in the midst of your process. Quit you're hindering yourself, and you're falling right into the plot that the enemy has for you. You just, I can't take it. I can't believe they don't like me. I can't believe that. Believe it. Acknowledge it. Believe it. Deal with it, my friends, and just get over it. Ask God, Father, Lord, help me. I am bound by the fear of man. It's important for people to agree with me. It's important for people to like me. It's important, and I need to be delivered from that. Not to the point where you don't care. I'm not saying that now, because we are teens, but I'm saying to the point where how a person's feelings don't govern your life. Somebody may be having a bad day and they say something off, and here your whole life you offset a whole season of your life because that person was going through something and they didn't call you back, or they didn't say good morning, and now you took that and it just destroyed your whole season of your life because you can't get over it. Deal with it, okay? Release that person, release them, and then let them be great in their own right, and you do what you're called to do. So I'm gone. I pray that we've said something to encourage your heart and bless your spirit, strengthen you, and build you up on your most holy faith. All right? We'll come back at the appointed time, and we'll see what the Lord has to say to His people. Amen. Grace and peace. God bless you.